Hello everybody, this is Warrior Dan and welcome back to What is the Point of? The series where we review games by breaking them down and analyzing them based on their core components. Today we are looking at a game by the name of Witchit. For those of you familiar with games like Garry's Mod, the gameplay featured on screen now should look more than a little familiar to you. Witchit takes one of the most popular community game modes originally made popular by Garry's Mod, Prop Hunt, and reworks it from the ground up to put an entirely new spin on it. Witchit is an online multiplayer team versus team PvP game where one team of players start off playing a group of broomstick-toting witches, each of whom have the ability to transform themselves into seemingly normal-looking objects, with the goal of blending in and staying out of sight of the other team, the Hunters, who take on the form of large, pot-bellied, ogre-like creatures, equipped with what seem to be potatoes, which they use to hurl at nearby props in the hopes of stumbling across and injuring a witch. If a hunter throws too many potatoes at a witch, the witch dies and is removed from the game and put in spectator mode. Hunters also have the secondary ability to grapple short distances in order to quickly traverse the map at will and to keep pace with a escaping prop if needed. Hunters can also hurl chickens in front of them. These spawn chickens act essentially as mini radar scanners and can detect any witches hiding in the immediate vicinity. The game maintains a pixelated, fantastical art style, which can be best described as a visual mixture of the graphics one could find in both Paladins and Roblox, respectively. The developers regularly update the game on a near monthly basis with new maps, cosmetic items, gameplay improvements, and bug fixes, generally all being included in each new release. The maps are large and spacious, with effectively enough room for teams of 12 or even 16 to easily find room to hide without immediately being discovered by the opposing team. Each round is relatively short, generally lasting less than 5 or 6 minutes. Now to be fair, I know some friends of mine who probably only last less than 5 or 6 minutes themselves, but that is an entirely different issue for another time. After this period is up, both the teams are swapped and the hunters become the hunted, and vice versa. But where Witchit really shines is in its custom lobbies. The game, to its credit, does allow you to create private or public servers to play with your friends or other people online. This is similar in design to Overwatch's custom game lobby, although not quite as sophisticated or customizable in nature. The owner of the lobby can alter all of the timers in the game, such as increasing or decreasing the time that witches are given to hide before the hunters are allowed out of their spawn, or alternatively, increasing or decreasing the time of the round itself. Additionally, the server owner can decide what map the game is to be played on, and can also set a server password, requiring others who want to join to first enter the password before being allowed entry. While the game does suffer some small gameplay issues, such as a seeming inability to effectively lock your prop in place once you've found a good hiding spot you like, a mechanic that was previously present in the Prop Hunt game mode seen in Garry's Mod, the rest of the game is quite a bit of fun. The game does reward you for spending time in game and will often grant you free cosmetic items for you to customize your character with, so you as a player will likely feel compensated for your time spent in game. If there's one thing I feel this game could expand on, it would be that the levels do feel as if they need a bit more verticality. Levels often feel very flat in nature, with most of the action taking place on one floor, with perhaps a handful of higher points of interest scattered around the map. The problem with this is that, despite how wide the maps are, a lack of verticality in the majority of the maps does make it feel as if the levels are a bit unnecessarily repetitive, with players walking up and down the same streets over and over again, with the occasional grappling to the rooftop every now and then. To me, what would be more interesting is more maps that are less wide and offer more pathways leading to higher levels, with many more rooms and areas featuring drastically different themes and design patterns, so as to allow different kinds of props in each area. This would force players to be a bit more careful about where they decide to hide, because you would have less props of the same kind, while at the same time providing both teams with a bit of much needed variety. Now, to be fair, there is one map that does address this, the newly added Twin Mask Feeder map, as part of the content update for this month, but I just wish that this verticality was likewise more consistent across the game's other maps as well. Overall, I found Witchit to be a very enjoyable experience, especially when playing with my friends, but the limited prop variety and overall flat level design will make it difficult to truly become addicted to this promising but currently lackluster gameplay experience. Witchit is a great pick up and play game that could be enchanting in short bursts, but overall it's not an experience I would describe as being magical. My final score for Witsit is a 7 out of 10. A must buy if you ever see it on sale during one of the massive Steam summer or winter sales, but it's a game that you should definitely buy a 4-pack for so you can play it with your friends and there really make the most of the experience. But at its retail price of $14.99, I would recommend waiting until this game goes on sale. But as always, that's just me. That's it for this episode of What is the Point of? If you want to see more videos like this from me in the future, please do hit that subscribe button and tap that gear button to opt into notifications. That way you'll be among the first to know when a new video goes live. Feel free to share your opinions on the game down in the comments below. I do like to have a conversation going, and I do respond to all comments, so if you have a question for me or a suggestion or a bit of feedback from me, I'm all ears. This is Warrior Dan signing out. Stay awesome everybody, and peace out.